Since the release of her 1967 debut album titled Hello, I'm Dolly, Dolly Parton has become one of country music's most recognizable stars. As of this writing, she's released close to 90 albums, penned thousands of songs, and starred in a number of hit movies, including Steel Magnolias and 9 to 5. She's also been inducted into both the Country Music Hall of Fame and the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Yep, she's a living legend. On top of her award-winning and top-selling performances, Parton is also just a refreshingly open book. A favorite guest of many talk show hosts, Parton has provided many incredibly candid and hilarious moments, like the time she joked to Wendy Williams that she's so adamant about not being seen without full hair and makeup that she'd have to really think about running out of the house in an emergency situation, including if her husband had a heart attack. Oh, Dolly. But despite her incredible fame and apparent candor, there are many secrets still to be discovered about the superstar, as her life has been full of surprises. Here are a few things you didn't know about Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton's brother, David Wilburn Parton, dies at 82. Dolly Parton's brother, David Wilburn Parton, passed away at his home on Friday, November 15th, at the age of 82. His sister, Stella Parton, announced the news in a heartfelt post on social media. "My brother David passed away peacefully this morning," Stella wrote. "It's never easy to say goodbye to a loved one, but he got his angel wings and is now at peace." Stella shared that David died in the early hours of the morning and thanked the medical professionals who cared for him, including Dr. David McNabney, Smoky Mountain Home Health and Hospice, and his caregivers, Aubrey Smith and Robin Schmidt. An obituary confirmed that David died at his home in White Pine, Washington on November 15th, but did not disclose the cause of death. David was a retired bridge builder superintendent for Simpson Construction and had worked on bridges in the Kingsport, Johnson City, and Knoxville areas. David was one of Dolly's 11 siblings and the second oldest of the 6 brothers and 5 sisters. Unlike his famous sister, David preferred to stay out of the spotlight. He is survived by his wife of 45 years, Kay Parton, his daughters Donna and Dana, his nephew son Lucas, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. David's passing comes nearly 4 years after the death of his brother Randy from cancer in 2021 and 6 years after the death of his brother Floyd in 2018. Dolly has not yet publicly commented on the death of her brother. A funeral will be held on Tuesday, November 19th at Leadville Baptist Church in White Pine, attended by family and friends. Dolly Parton was just 1 day out of high school when she moved to Nashville, Tennessee. The 18-year-old couldn't have imagined the fame she'd find or the fact she'd meet the love of her life on her first day in the big city. According to Country Living, Parton was outside the wishy-washy laundromat when a 21-year-old Carl Dean pulled up in his car to tell her that her wardrobe choice left her at risk of getting a sunburn. Their connection was instant. "My first thought was, I'm gonna marry that girl," Dean said in a 2016 statement celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. As for Parton, she was surprised and delighted that while he talked to me, he looked at my face, a rare thing for me. 2 years later, Parton and Dean embarked on what would become a somewhat odd lifelong relationship, secretly marrying on Memorial Day in 1966. That year was also the first and last time Dean attended a red carpet. As the pair drove home, Dean reportedly told Parton via the Daily Mail, "Dolly, I want you to have everything you want, and I'm happy for you, but don't you ever ask me to go to another one of them dang things again." She didn't, and he became so reclusive that his existence has been called into question. "He wants to be mostly around the house," Parton once told people, noting she's the opposite, and that's why their marriage works. "He loves that. He's independent. He doesn't need me in his face, and it's the same with me. I Will Always Love You" may forever be associated with Whitney Houston and The Bodyguard, but did you know it was originally written and recorded by Dolly Parton? Even more surprisingly, it's not a traditional love song. Rather than being inspired by a breakup, Parton penned the track after deciding to leave Porter Wagner's syndicated TV show to pursue a solo career. The year was 1973, and as Parton told CMT in 2011, I was trying to get away on my own because I had promised to stay with Porter's show for 5 years. I had been there for 7. Admitting that Wagner just wasn't listening to my reasoning for my going, she decided to write him a song in order to express her feelings. Explaining its true meaning, she told CMT, it's saying, just because I'm going don't mean I won't love you. I appreciate you, and I hope you do great, and I appreciate everything you've done, but I'm out of here. Parton played the song for Wagner the following morning. It brought him to tears, and her message finally hit home. He said, "That's the prettiest song I ever heard, and you can go providing I get to produce that record." She recalled, adding, "He did, and the rest is history." Soon after its release, I Will Always Love You became a hit for Dolly Parton, topping the charts in 1974. Over the years, the track became a staple cover song with everyone from Linda Ronstadt to LeAnn Rimes and, of course, Whitney Houston putting their own spins on the tune. In the 70s, another megastar almost added the song to his repertoire, but Parton shut him down when he asked for too much money. As Parton recalled in a 2006 CMT interview, Elvis Presley was a big fan of the song and was getting me ready to record a cover version. She was invited to attend the session and was feeling over the moon. I was so excited. I told everybody I knew, she reminisced. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. Before Presley hit the studio, Parton received a call from his manager, Colonel Tom Parker, who told her, "Now you know we have a rule that Elvis don't record anything that we don't take half the publishing." Not one to accept a bad business deal, Parton refused. Admitting that she cried all night, she stuck to her guns. These days, she still wonders what it wouldn't have sounded like, but she has no regrets. "When Whitney Houston's version came out, I made enough money to buy Graceland," she laughed. "Leave it to Dolly Parton to rewrite the rules." When the superstar was invited to grace the cover of Playboy in 1978, she accepted, but with very specific and surprising terms. Her decision to appear in the magazine wasn't just historic because she was the first country singer to do so, but also because she did the shoot fully dressed. That's right, Parton refused to appear nude, and they still agreed, a true testament to her greatness. Even so, the songstress received plenty of backlash. As she told CMT, "I think people gasped when I was on the cover of Playboy because they thought I probably had some nude layouts inside, but I did not. I just wore that cute little bunny suit that the girls wear at the club. Well, my own version of it. And the little bunny ears and all," she continued, noting that she simply considered the gig to be a great PR opportunity. On July 5th, 1996, a team of scientists, embryologists, surgeons, vets, and farm staff working at the University of Edinburgh's Roslin Institute made history when they managed to clone a mammal using an adult cell. In an effort to develop a better method for producing genetically modified livestock, the team created Dolly the Sheep, whose body is now on display at the National Museum of Scotland. Although she wasn't the world's first cloned mammal, that was a sheep created from an embryo cell in 1984 in Cambridge, she was the first to prove that specialized cells could be used to create an exact copy of the animal they came from. As for her name, lead researcher Dr. Ian Wilmot told the BBC she got her moniker from one very famous country singer. "Dolly is derived from a mammary gland cell, and we couldn't think of a more impressive pair of glands than Dolly Parton's," he revealed. Over the years, Dolly Parton has dealt with a slew of tabloid rumors alleging that her best friend and personal assistant, Judy Ogle, is actually her secret lover. Parton finally put those rumors to rest publicly in a 2012 interview with The Sun. "Well, people love to talk, people love to gossip. They've said that about Oprah, but it's not true," she pointed out, citing Oprah Winfrey's similar relationship with BFF Gayle King and underscoring the fact that she's not gay. "Judy and I have been best friends for 64 years since we were little kids," Parton continued, thinking back to her childhood. "Our parents knew each other, we grew up together, we were like sisters, became best friends. She was very quiet, I was very outgoing. So we made perfect friends she said before opening up about her and Ogle's unshakable bond. We went all through school together, Parton recalled. Ogle went to the Army when we graduated because she needed the insurance and she needed to help her family, and I was trying to make it. As soon as she got out, she came to Nashville, and we've been together ever since. Steel Magnolias was one of the biggest hits of the 80s. The film pretty much made Julia Roberts a superstar, landing her an Oscar nomination for Best Actress in a Supporting Role. But the fledgling A-lister's time on set was a nightmare. Sally Field and Shirley MacLaine took a walk down memory lane in 2013 for an American Film Institute event in honor of the movie, and according to Field via Us Weekly, director Herbert Ross allegedly went after Julia with a vengeance. So much so that he made her cry. But she wasn't the sole target of his reported bullying. In fact, no one was spared. I remember the day Herb said to Dolly Parton, "Why don't you take some acting lessons?" MacLaine noted, as Field added, "You don't say that to Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton is absolutely the funniest, wittiest, and filthiest, and she will cut you to ribbons." Which is exactly what Parton did with Ross. As Field revealed, the stronger ones of the group, who were just older and had been there longer, would go after him. That meant Shirley and Dolly. Dolly Parton may never had any kids of her own, but she does have one famous goddaughter whom she loves and protects as if she were her child, Miley Cyrus. Case in point, when Cyrus repeatedly made headlines in 2013 for everything from twerking on Robin Thicke to swinging around naked on a wrecking ball, her godmother jumped to her defense. Speaking with the Evening Standard, the country legend proclaimed, "I've loved her through the years and watched her grow up, and I've seen how smart she is and how talented she is." She continued, "I don't think people really realize yet what a great singer and writer she really is." Adding that she would never dream of offering Cyrus unsolicited advice, Parton said, "If she needs my opinion on something, I will surely give it, and there have been times we've talked." Parton then went on to justify Cyrus's eyebrow-raising antics, telling the outlet, "I know that she has thought this all through. We'll let her go and do her own thing."